Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today we have the Nike Apple Watch, which is also the Apple Watch Series 2. Now I have this watch for about 2 months and I would like to share with you guys some of my thoughts about it. So in the first part of the video, I'll give you guys an overview of the pros and cons in my perspective. And in the second part, I will focus on the comparison between Series 1 and 2 as well as the Nike version. Okay, first off, water resistance. This is certainly a pro, but don't get too excited just yet. Apple updated their website in regard to the water resistance for Series 2, and it specified that Apple Watch Series 2 shouldn't be used for scuba diving, water skiing, or other activities involving high velocity water. It also says that showering with the Apple Watch series is okay, but they do not recommend to expose the watch to soaps, shampoos, conditioners, or anything like that. So for people who plan to use the watch a lot during water activities, bear in mind that Apple also says that water resistance isn't a permanent condition and may diminish over time, and it cannot be rechecked or resealed for the purpose. Okay, next up in the pro list, voice-controlled personal assistant. This is certainly a big pro for me because this function really helped me the most after having the Apple Watch, especially while I'm cooking in the kitchen. And with the voice command of Hey Siri, I can certainly ask Siri to set the timer on for me without having to look for the phone. It's literally handy. Speaking of personal assistant, Apple Watch is also very driver friendly in my opinion. This may not be as helpful to some of you as it is to me because my car was a 2011 model and it was right before Bluetooth became a standard for vehicles. So without having an in-car control for, let's say, a Spotify playlist, it would be a hassle for me to skip or pause a song. Now with my Apple Watch on my wrist, it's certainly much more accessible and safer for me to control the playlist. Making and receiving phone calls using the Apple Watch is actually surprisingly okay, although that can drain your battery, which is expected. There was one time when a caller couldn't quite hear me was because my jacket was almost covering the mics if you wear the watch in a default orientation. Luckily, Apple Watch offers the option for you to wear it in an opposite orientation, and that helps to resolve the issue for me, especially in winter here in New York, as a big jacket is absolutely a necessity. Apple recently has updated the Watch OS, which allows me to go from charging it once per day to once every 2 days. The improvement here in terms of battery life is significant, and that's based on my usage settings and my routine. I usually have about 30 minutes exercises and a moderate to high amount of notifications. I also have my brightness set to the lowest, which is still pretty bright to me, and no phone calls using the watch. Now I know that smartwatch to some degree means customization, but for Apple to offer such degree of customization is surprising, but in a good way. However, of course, it's still quite limited because as of now, you still cannot download additional watch faces. If you absolutely need something that feels personal to you, you can actually use the watch face that allows you to use photos from your album. For me, I created a watch face album on my iPhone, and then the watch would change the picture from the album every time you raise the wrist. So now on to the cons. First off, it's pretty unreliable in terms of exercise data. If you're thinking to buy the Apple Watch and you need accurate data during exercises, this may not be a good choice for you. Even though the watch has a heart rate sensor, it's most of the time inaccurate, especially during exercises. My heart rate during exercise is usually around 135 to 140 beats per minute, and I've seen my Apple Watch showing me 75 or even up to 170 beats per minute. And you know right off the bat that is inaccurate and is just way off. The accuracy can be improved if you wear it tighter, but only slightly. If you're moving, it seems hard for the Apple Watch to measure the heart rate accurately. Besides the heart rate, data on distance is not very accurate either, although it's not as bad. I heard people running 10 miles and the watch only recorded 9.2 miles. So if you run marathon and really care about the distance, this may not be the watch for you. So next up in the cons, slow apps and slow turn-on time. The Apple Watch Series 2 takes a total of 1 minute and 40 seconds for it to completely turn on. And opening apps on it is so slow unless you're opening some pre-installed apps such as Messages or the workout apps. So apps like eBay or Facebook Messengers just takes forever to load if they eventually load. Sometimes it just freezes in the middle and then you just have to quit and decide to grab your phone instead. Also, there are not a lot of popular apps that are supporting the watchOS, such as WhatsApp and Facebook. Having said that, however, you will still get notifications from these apps. Alright, so here comes the second part of the review. So Series 1 or 2? Well, both series have dual-core chips, but the one in Series 2 is faster. With Series 2, you also get a built-in GPS for tracking your routes without having a phone and is also water resistant. To accommodate the GPS function, the Series 2 watch also comes in a millimeter thicker than the Series 1. If you're upgrading from Series 1, you may find that bother you at the beginning, but frankly, the benefits of having GPS tracking outweighs the increase in 1 millimeter of thickness. And in terms of appearance, the Series 2 actually has a pretty similar design as the previous series. One thing a lot of people may not notice is the additional microphone in Series 2. Even though Apple didn't particularly mention the additional microphone, but some people say that it's used to improve the accuracy of voice command. So the next question would be whether to go for the Nike version or not. Well, for the same price, I don't see a reason not to go for the Nike version unless you really don't want the watch strap on the Nike version and the Nike watch face. But you do get another neon color scheme on the Nike version, and frankly, I use this particular watch face a lot. It just looks clean and bright. But if you're thinking to buy the Nike version just because of the Nike Run Club app that is pre-installed, then think again unless you're already in love with that app. To me, that app is quite buggy and it doesn't live up to the standard, especially when using on the Apple Watch. My go-to workout app right now is still the Apple workout app that comes with the watch. It's not perfect, but better than the Nike app in many ways. The Nike app certainly has a lot of potentials to be a killer workout app, but right now it's just frustrating to use. So that's it for the review. I hope that helps. Leave me comments down below for any question that you may have, and please give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. Even though the channel is pretty new, I can say for sure that there will be more videos coming soon, so stay tuned and please subscribe. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye.